Gates the most hated man on social media now? Good question. Comments on his Instagram, they're being deleted daily. Same with his Twitter. Is there any truth to this, or are people just crazy?
So on the basis that a picture's worth 1,000 words, what I did was ask Bill and Melinda to dig out from their archive some images that would help explain some of what they've done and do a few things that way. So we're going to start here. Melinda, when and where was this, and who is that handsome man next to you?
Look at those big glasses, huh? This is in Africa, our very first trip, the first time either of us had ever been to Africa in the fall of 1993. We were already engaged to be married. We married a few months later. And this is the trip where we really went to see the animals and to see the savannah. It was incredible. Bill had never taken that much time off from work. But what really touched us actually were the people. And the extreme poverty. We started asking ourselves questions. Does it have to be like this? And at the end of the trip, we went out to Zanzibar and took some time to walk on the beach, which is something we'd done a lot while we were dating. And we'd already been talking about during that time that the wealth that had come from Microsoft would be given back to society. But it was really...
Wait a second, your net worth has doubled since starting the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. I don't buy that.
On that beach walk that we started to talk about, well, what might we do and how might we go about it?
So given that this vacation led to the creation of the world's biggest private foundation, it's pretty expensive as vacations go.
I guess so. We enjoyed it.
Which of you was the key instigator here, or was it symmetrical?
Well, I think we were excited that there'd be a phase of our life where we'd get to work together and figure out how to give this money back.
Billionaire philanthropy is nothing more than a PR scam. I don't buy this for a second.
At this stage, we were talking about the poorest and what could you have a big impact on them? Were there things that weren't being done? There was a lot we didn't know. Our naivete is pretty incredible when we look back on it. But we had a certain enthusiasm that would be the phase, the post-Microsoft phase would be our philanthropic mentorship.
Yeah, which Bill always thought was going to come after he was 60. So he hasn't quite hit 60 yet. So some things change along the way.
Oh, so it started there, but it got accelerated. That was 93, and then it was 97 really before the foundation itself started.
Yeah, in 97 we read an article about diarrheal diseases killing so many kids around the world, and we kept saying to ourselves, well, that can't be. In the US, you just go down to the drugstore. And so we started gathering scientists and started learning about population, learning about vaccines, learning about what had worked and what had failed. And that's really when we got going, was in late 1988, 1999.
So you've got a big pot of money and a world full of so many different issues. How on earth do you decide what to focus on?
They have billions invested in the pharmaceutical companies and vaccine companies. Other donations go to fund trials for those drugs.
Well, we decided that we'd pick two causes, whatever the biggest inequity was globally. And there we looked at children dying, children not having enough nutrition to ever develop, and countries that were really stuck because with that level of death, and parents would have so many kids that they'd get huge population growth, and that the kids were so sick that they really couldn't be educated and lift themselves up. So that was our global thing. And then in the US, both of us had amazing educations.
Amazing educations, you dropped out.
And we saw that as the way that the US could live up to its promise of equal opportunity is by having a phenomenal education system. And the more we learn, the more we realize that we're not really fulfilling that promise. And so we picked those two things, and everything the foundation does are focused there. Activities like schools, have such benefit and can be done in a way that the risk of transmission is very low.
Yeah.
And which activities like mass gatherings may be, in a certain sense, more optional. And so until you're widely vaccinated, those may not come back at all.
id2020 Event 201. One thing's for sure, that Bill Gates plans to profit off all this.